So let's get to these progress bars. In the main status tab in the home page or the stat page, there are progress bars everywhere, and they're just miniature versions of this big one down here beside the level. So let's go ahead and design this one, and it's going to be really simple. And then we'll just use the class of that element on these ones right here. We'll just make them smaller. So down here beside level 1, what I'm going to do is find it here. Level 1, there we go. And level progress, I've actually already created one. So this is going to be really simple. All we need to do is style that. Hopefully you guys have that created as well. So in the level progress, what we're going to do is we're going to set the width to 100% and the height to like 10 pixels or so. And then it will need to float right here, or the text will need to float left, one of the two. We'll cover that later. The border is going to be 1 pixel solid. And then we'll need a fill inside of it. Should that be 1 pixel or 2 pixels? It looks like it's the same width as that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and say 2 pixels. That looks a little better. All right, so let's go ahead and copy this, and that's level progress. So down here, let's start the level progress. And then inside of it, we need to have level progress indicator. And that is going to be the actual bar's content. So let's save this. Or actually, it can be now. Yeah, okay. We need a way to like manually set the width of it to a percentage in the declaration here. So we're going to set that property. So div class level dash progress dash indicator, and we're going to set the width here to 70%. And I'm going to save it and refresh. Now what we need to do is we need to set the level progress indicator here height. So height is going to be 8 pixels. That might be a little too big. Yeah. And so let's say if it's 2 and it's 10 high, then it should be 6. There we go. And let's set the background to the color, the main color. So let's jump in and grab that from way up at the top, text. There we go. And let's set the width to, actually, why didn't this width set properly? 70%, let's say 50. Not, if I set it to 600, okay, it's not being applied there. So, inline block, progress indicator with 600. There we go. Let's screw that up. Okay, that screwed it up. So we're just gonna manually set a width here for the level progress. So let's jump down here, save it, and refresh. So, oh, this is why. We're gonna make the level progress display inline. And text should be inline, this should be inline. So I'm not sure why that's, maybe that needs to also be, let's check. Yeah, let's put that into a span element. Save it, refresh. Set the level progress display to inline block. Width is going to be auto. No. Width is going to be 70% here. And we get that kind of progress there. So, copy this. Back to our CSS. And we're going to add inline block and width 70%. Refresh. There's our progress indicator, or our progress bar. We could section it up and use bootstrap columns, and that's probably what we're going to end up doing. But for right now, this looks all right. What we need to do is, before we actually get to the main content, we're going to fix this up entirely. So let's go get the pip footer, and we're going to say border none. And there's the before and after on that. How can we, up here on the top where I added that stuff to the nav bar, I just targeted nav bar. Light. Let's try that. Save this and refresh. There we go. That right, cool. So let's go ahead and on the pip footer, let's set border none. And then in the columns in here, we need to set the color or the background color to a kind of transparent version of that green. So let's go ahead and apply this. So pip footer there, navbar light pip footer, way down at the bottom. There. And then navbar pip footer row, call 3 and call 6. So call 3 and then navbar pip dash footer space call 6. We're going to say background is going to be the same as this right here, but it's going to be somewhat RGBA version of it. So let's just play around with it till we get it right. So say 0 red, 255 green, and 20 blue, and 0.4. Save it, refresh. It's a bit too not right. So let's go ahead and slide it around a bit till we get it absolutely perfect. It's looking better, but it needs to be less, right about there. And then copy this color. Place that right there. And now we need little spaces in between each one. So what we're going to do is the column 6, we're going to add a little margin left and right to that. So navbar dot pip dash footer call 6. We're going to say margin is 0 pixels, 5 pixels. Save it, refresh. Now we get that. But we're not. It's now screwing everything up. Could I make the width now less? Max width 50. So this to 40. 48, there we go. So flex needs to be 0, 0, 48%. Save, refresh, there. We've now got our footer, and it's looking just about right. So in the next video, what we're going to do is, I mean, we could style this up and make the fonts bigger and, put proper spacing around that. And we might afterwards. We most likely will, actually. But for right now, I'm interested in getting this main content done.